Ha, yeah, y'all know what time it is. So just sit back and relax because the show's about to start. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What's up and welcome to Down to Earth Talk. We are a show focused on positive news in the world. We know life has challenges and we know that there is joy that can be found because that joy is in you. With me today is Chris Cheek.
What's up, y'all?
Sherry Mitchell.
Hi.
And joined with us today is Dan Eley, my father, representing Legal Shield, ID theft.
Hi, I'm here.
He's actually all of our fathers.
It's the Father Dan.
There you go. Many sons had Father Dan. I'm one of them.
Hey, this is about fun.
So are you?
It's a serious subject, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah. So we got some viewers in. Make sure to go over to the live chat and join with us in this conversation. It's going to be a good conversation. What are we talking about, Chris?
Top 10 ways to protect yourself from identity theft. And it is a real thing in this world.
Identity theft it's a serious crime. In May of 2017, 143 million American consumers whose sensitive personal information was exposed in the data breach at Equifax. That's names, addresses, phone numbers, social security numbers, all that type of stuff. And as we're winding up, when we're getting into the holiday season, Merry Christmas to everyone, by the way.
Of course, Danny, you're all about it right now.
Dude, November 1st is the beginning of the Christmas seasons.
I agree. I completely agree with that.
As the holiday season approaches, we know that these identity thieves, which is what they are out, hacking into different companies and stealing personal information, opening up accounts that are outside of unexpected in your name. They're opening accounts. The news thing that I heard that they're doing is opening payday loans and not paying them back, and then you're responsible for. And so there's ways that you can protect yourself, and that's what we want to talk about because we want everyone to be protected.
I just wanted to mention a little bit about the Equifax breach. Is that it's kind of like you hear that on the news, and then all of a sudden you think, and you look at your personal records, nothing's happened, nothing goes like, hey, I guess I'm safe, nothing happened. Well, in reality, what it is that when a breach like that happens, these thieves take your information and they sell it. So this Equifax breach could be long-reaching. It could be, 6 months. It could be a year. You could be going to purchase a home or purchase a car, and all of a sudden you find out that you've got all these judgments against you. So the thing is that it's really crucial. It's like the most important thing we can do to protect ourselves, because the only thing you can do is protect your good name, and that's really what then they go after your good name and your family's name. And I could just tell you story after story of folks that the one that comes to my mind is this tragic story of this little senior citizen who came into a friend of mine was a gas station attendant, and she came in and she went to use her debit card, and they said, I'm sorry, your debit card has been declined. She said, so that's impossible. I'd never used that debit card. My husband left me my emergency cash fund in that debit fund, and she had over $32,000 in that fund. And since she didn't use it, and since she hadn't used it in over 6 months, somebody had come in and cleaned out her entire account. And so you think, okay, the bank's going to make her good. Well, in reality, the bank couldn't make her good because it happened so long ago. So these are the slimiest individuals, and I hope there's some identity thefts out there listening on YouTube, because you are the slime. But I get a little emotional about it because I personally have had my identity stored. I think Danny there has had his identity stolen, and then everybody knows somebody who's had their identity stolen. So it's just a terrible, terrible crime. It attacks us. It's like it's as bad as somebody breaking into our home, going through our stuff, going through our dresser drawers, and leaving. And maybe they don't even take anything, but it's just that feeling of violation that identity thefts caused people to happen. So,
well, and it's not
more serious.
It's not a 5-minute repair, is it?
Yeah. No. And the sad thing is is in my research in this, the whole identity theft is you can't walk into the local police station and say, hey, I've had my identity theft. I've had my identity stolen. What can I do? And they'll say, sorry, we don't have the resources. We don't have the funding. We can't take care of that. You're just going to have to, go out, do it on your own. For my instance of my identity theft, it took me over I think I counted up 7 different phone calls to the IRS, over 25 hours of sitting on the phone to the IRS, and then a year and a half later, I finally got it resolved. And the thing is that it's like that was my time, that I had to take away from my family, that I had to get this resolved. Unfortunately, I got it resolved, but that's not the case for everybody.
So today we're going to be talking about ways to prevent your identity being stolen, right?
Yes, and we're going to go on the proactive side. We're going to go positive, because there's some things that you can do to safeguard. And one of the things is, I just want to put out a little disclaimer out there. If you've had your identity stolen in the past, chances are it's probably going to happen again. So these are safeguards that you want to practice, basically daily. It's just like you're a certain part of Southern California. There's certain parts of town you don't go into when it's dark. So this is the same thing with your identity. You don't want these practices to ever come out. I don't know if there's an agenda, but I'll just kind of read through some of the things you can do. Number one is shred your documents. It may sound silly.
Can I just throw them in the dumpster?
No. But basically what it happens is that identity thieves will actually pay kids to go through dumpsters. It's crazy. They'll bring in like a credit card offer to you that you think, oh, I don't want this, and you throw it away. Well, they will like that, and these identity thieves will actually pay these kids like a quarter. Bring in an envelope, I'll give you a quarter. Bring in something, I'll give you 50 cents. And so basically, that they go out and take out a credit card in your name, because they're just real easy to do. And if your social security number, your license, driver's license number is written on something, to be shredded. And even, I'm at the, when I cut up a credit card or cut up an old debit card, make sure you destroy those completely, demagnetize them, because even though you think, oh, okay, I'm just going to throw my old debit card, it's not good anymore. What you don't realize that is on the magnetic strip on those is all your information. Even though the card's not good anymore, it has all your information. When you check into a hotel and you get those little handy dandy little key cards, all your credit card information are on those cards. So always demagnetize, always protect yourself doing that. Shred everything. So that's really number one, is just to make sure you destroy all of your anything that could be compromised. Number two is strengthen your passwords. If you can remember them, which, like, as I think I'm probably old. I probably add up everybody's age in this room, and you probably could see that I'm probably older than all of you put together. But the thing is, I forget my passwords. So what do people that forget things do? They write them down. So I don't want to tell you that I have all my passwords written down in a book someplace, but that's really what happens. If somebody leaves get their purse stolen, they get their wallet stolen, and lo and behold, there's that list of their passwords that they keep in their wallet where they won't lose it. So you always want to protect your passwords, strengthen your passwords, change them when they say to change them. Go ahead. Anything can jump in anytime if they have any questions, okay?
I think
Number
they
three
have
is
apps that are available where you can go in and actually like put all your passwords into this app type of thing, where even the app is password protected. But you can go and it's all secure.
Passwords for our passwords.
Yes, exactly.
It's a Russian doll thing where you just keep popping out more Russian dolls out of those.
Well, and even with those apps, I even heard a story that that they wanted somebody download those apps and they decided they were going to just sit there and put in their new app that they got for their phone that are protected, that are encrypted, everything like that. But they were doing it in a Starbucks, so that's a public access to a Wi-Fi. And so these thieves are clever, they're slimy, they're stealing the access as you're trying to put input into your phone. So just be careful with everything like that. I mean, I don't want to make everybody paranoid about it, but if I can make you paranoid and protect you, then that's good. That's a good thing. So, all right, check your credit reports. If you don't think the Equifax effect or the Equifax credits compromise and actually caused you some, just realize when you check your credit facts, where do all the credit agencies report to? You know, the TransUnion, the different ones, all of those have your information at the touch. And you know how, if you've ever had a dispute with your credit report, how hard it is to dispute and get something taken negative off there that wasn't happening. So you want to be also very careful with that, but make sure you go to a legitimate website that they can check it and is secured. So you want to check your credit reports. That way you can see if you've had any credit cards open that you didn't know about, and not naming your wife, but you know, or spouse or things like that. But I just so the next thing is to guard your Social Security number. The one permanent.
Well, I guard that really well because I keep it in my wallet.
Yeah, that is probably not the best place because I've seen your wallet sometimes left when you've gone.
Say that again. Can you say that again so my wife can hear that?
I've seen.
Don't keep your Social Security card on you.
That's right. Keep it in a lockbox. Keep your birth certificate. Keep everything like that secure. Just memorize it. I have mine since we're traveling. I have all of our Social Security cards and everything like that in my lockbox. So.
I actually had my wallet stolen and my Social Security card was in it last Christmas.
We didn't want to
But
be.
they ain't gonna get far because you know I barely get approvals. When my debit card says approved, I get excited. I'm like, what?
Jared, don't feel bad. My wife had her purse, which she had never carried a purse for 20 years. She had her purse stolen out of her car after somebody sitting in our driveway had broken the window and stole it. Now, she didn't have her Social Security card in there, but guess what she did have? She had all the kids' and all the Walmart gift cards that she had gotten for Christmas. So, I mean, that was, you know, $400, $500 that she just said. So anyway, and that's in a residential area, you know, in a driveway in Oregon. So Oregon, Georgia, we're not exempt.
Can I tell a little story?
Sure. I love stories.
It's quick. It's really quick. I promise I won't drag on. I once got my wallet in California now. I got my wallet stolen. I really needed that money, like really needed that money. And it was just $60. That's all it was. That's all I had, $60 to my name. So I prayed about it. And then God reminded me that when a thief steals, and he's caught, he has to replace sevenfold. Right? Is that right, Mr. Cheek and Mr. Dealey's? So I kept my focus on that. I'm not lying. The next day, I got a check in the mail, totally unexpected, for $500.
Woohoo!
No, I'm not saying I will intentionally leave my wallet in my car. So I can play that promise. But I forgot that particular time. And sure enough, I got. Anyways, it has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Well, you know, it's that may be our ultimate coverage that we're not going to talk about here is God's protection. So we'll keep that open. So I mean, so anyway, we were back on Be Smart and social media. Like when you're on a YouTube talk show, don't say, you know, give out your Social Security number. Say, hey, check me out. Try to steal my identity, and here's my Social Security number. Or don't share.
974-38-3924.
Isn't that your phone number, Danny?
Yeah, can you slow down? I need to write that down.
Phone numbers are something else too. You know, we give up our phone numbers easier than ever, and usually we didn't find this out until we had kids, but that they could actually charge things on our. Hi there.
Hey, Autumn.
Hi, hey, Danny.
Hey, Daddy.
I said Danny.
Oh.
Hi. How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing good.
That's all right. Anyway, I was going to talk about kids is just giving phones out that they can identity thieves can charge things to your phone bill, and all of a sudden lo and behold, in the middle of you get your cell phone bill at the end of the month. And who checks those during the month? And you got a $40, $50 charges on there. And you find out that somebody not in your family has been charging games on there because they had your phone number.
Wow.
So anyway, protect those. Protect social media we're so in tune with that now. Just Facebook and Twitter and all those different medias. They're such great tools, but they also just make sure you protect yourself and don't give away any private information.
Hey, really quick, let's go over to the chat.
Okay.
Chandra, back to Chandra now. She says, true story, I think Dan might still have my birth certificate in his lockbox. Denise locked it up for me years ago, and I'm not sure I ever got it back.
It's in Oregon, would have to look.
What's the address? We're at in Oregon. What's the combination?
It's on a street in Oregon that has a house on it. And, it's so long since we've been there, I'm not sure.
Yes. Channy has the worst time with her name. It just will not stay the same. She's like, darn name change.
Well, we know and love her. We know and love her. So one of the things is that I do know that I do have the information for my other son's his lockbox. They gave it in case they couldn't get into it, lost the key or whatever. Lost the key and gave us the information, and it doesn't work. He had to break it open with a pry bar. So, I mean, it protected it somewhat. Anyway, I guess I skipped from social media to phones.
Yeah, we kind of blurred together.
Yeah, know the signs of phishing. I don't know that. I'm probably Sherry could share that more about phishing in Georgia. Or is that what they're talking about, right?
No.
Oh, I know. And that's just watch out for.
There's a lake up the street that is a public fishing place we go to every once in a while.
I actually shared that. I told somebody about the fishing problem, and they said,
"Oh, is that what you mean?"
It's really got bad. No, it's where they send out a fake email, and you open it, and all of a sudden it infects your computer with a virus that they even have the kind that will actually steal your information because they'll put a virus on it, and then lo and behold, you get a notice from a company saying, "Hey, we'll correct this thing for just give us your credit card number and your first child's name," and they come in and
they'll even do it on the phone now where they'll call you and all they need you to do is say yes. If they say if they have you say yes, what they'll do is they'll record you saying yes, and then they'll edit it into a completely different conversation that they had. And so they'll call you and they'll say, "Hey, we're from the gas company. We just need to make sure your gas is still running. Is your gas still running?" And you'll say, "Yeah, it's running." And they'll say, "Okay, so can you confirm just by saying yes that this is still running?" And you'll say yes. And then all of a sudden they now are charging some sort of a thing to you, and it's crazy. It's this phishing, the phishing, like they'll fish for your information. They'll get it.
Back in the day, didn't we used to make calls to say, "Is your refrigerator running? You better go catch it."
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. Oh, and when you mean phishing, you mean PHISHING, something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, not
okay. Took me a minute.
Not the bass fishing.
Okay.
So anyway,
the phishing scam.
Oh,
this is one that I see all the time, especially working with our seniors. Is they'll get a notice in the mail from some unknown, unforeseen thing. They'll get a phone call. They'll get something that like, "Hey, you need to call us back immediately." Like I know even Danny, what was it like 2 months ago?
Yeah. I had a phone call from a guy from India actually that was letting me know that he had the wrong address. So he was letting me know that the Santa Ana Police Department would be at my door in the next 25 minutes to make an arrest if I didn't do this thing immediately. And Sherry, you had that same phone call. You got that same phone call.
It was something different, but he said I was a part of a. I'm like, holy crap! I committed. I already paid that ticket, But it was like that someone was a part of an investigation, and if I didn't cooperate, they were going to. This was just a couple months ago. Remember, Danny?
Yep. I called them on an unknown. I called them on an unknown number, and they called me back. Somehow they found my number. Somehow even though I blocked my number, they still got my number and called me back late at night, and they said, well, why'd you call our office? And I was like, what are you talking about? You called me. Who are you? No, you called us our office earlier on a blocked number. No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I mean, you hear about it all the time. IRS. I can tell you one thing: the IRS will never make a phone call to you. They will send you nasty letters, and they might even show up.
If you want to get a hold of them, you're going to take 45 minutes just to get a hold of them.
That's right. Yeah. So if you get a direct line to the IRS, it's fraud. It's fake.
Yeah, they don't call you. Working with some tax attorneys and knowing how this all works, they will never call you. They will always send you a letter.
So just the other kind of going down our list here a little bit. And anybody, by the way, I don't know if this information I think Danny's going to provide to you, or Chris, or whoever. If you want a copy of the 10 ways to protect yourself, just drop us a email or line, or make a little comment.
Your email and your phone number.
Yeah, and my email.
Yeah.
Okay, my email. Give them my phone number. Okay, my phone number is fine.
And your social security number.
And my social security number and
checking account.
What's your PIN number?
Okay. Three of my kids are sitting in front of me, so just get their names. No, my email address is DCOELEY. That's really tough. DCOELEY @gmail.com. Just drop me a little thing. Say I want the 10 safeguards, and at gmail.com. Just send me that, and then if you want me to do it, I will text. I have no problem with that. Is my number is 541-515-3943.
Don't you dare call him.
And you can text me, and I will respond with a text, and I will send you a copy of this, because I think this is invaluable. I think that folks, the more you can do, that you can be proactive in protecting yourself, that's the better way it is. Danny's showing a copy of it there.
Yeah, so we actually have a copy of this at a lot of our centers too, and we're trying to help the residents to protect themselves. So we have this information if you're watching from one of our centers, you can just talk to your coordinator, and they'll get you a copy of this too.
Very much.
So I don't know if you have a plan, but are you going to talk about the legal part of Legal Shield too?
Well, we can't. We were kind of focusing just on the ID Shield. They're two interrelated companies, because basically, if you ever do get your identity stolen, even if you have the protection and you know all the different companies out there, I represent the company of ID Shield, which is great, because they have their own private investigators that take right on it, and they also they're right up front with their pricing. They don't you don't get charged. Individuals have one price of $9.95 a month, and families covering up to 8 members in that family are $19.95 a month, and it's not going to raise, grow up, anything like that. And you have and there's all things besides just your identity shield. They go through a lot of different things of how to sex offender protection, all different. It's a complete service. But you do need the legal aspect into it also, because if you do get your identity stolen, and for say if you're driving along and somebody's used your name or falsified yours, and you're driving along at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you get stopped by a police officer, and they pull you over, and they look at your record, and they say, hey, you've got 17 outstanding warrants, and you say, no, that's me. There's a mistake. Well, let me tell you this. How can you prove at 3 o'clock in the morning that I'm actually Dan Eley at 3 o'clock in the morning? And that's why we have the legal aspects, where we have a 24-hour attorney on call. We can call them up at 24 hours. They'll call you. They will respond back to you in 2 minutes. So there's never ever a question about that you're going to go spend any time in jail, because they think they're arresting this. I look like a felon right now, but I'm really a nice guy. But
so even using all these prevention measures, like, you can still get your identity stolen, right?
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is that, like I said, the Equifax, the scary thing about that is that, yeah, you say, oh, nothing happened to me. I heard about 143 million. So I must not have been one of 143.
That's half of the Americans. Half
Yeah,
of Americans.
half Americans. So you have a 50-50 chance anyway your information was stolen. And you got to figure that, even part of that is, underage of the 230 million people. So the thing about it is that your information could have been stolen. Your information could have been sold. Your information hasn't been compromised yet, but it could be. And so that's why you need to protect yourself now. Oh, wow, I guess I was part of the breach, because after the fact then is you're going to say, yeah, I need to get this service, and you're saying, yeah, it's not going to cost you $9.95 a month or $19.95 a month. It's going to cost you a lot more, and that's really
and you know what? With this particular topic, it's like because we work with a lot of young people, and a lot of young people, of course, we thought that way too. Oh, I'm only 15. I'm never going to reach 20. It's forever. I'm never going to. Then all of a sudden you wake up and you're 105. Right? So that's what you feel like anyways. So it's like, I'm not a salesperson unless I believe in something. So if I believe in something, like right now, I'm trying out Plexus for my sister Jamie. So far, so good, but I ain't lost no weight. So I'm not sure if that money is worth it for me right now, because that's my goal. But there are some other things about, and I'm not going to go into that. We're talking about identity theft. So, but my point is, when I believe in something, I harp on it. Life insurance, I harp on it because I've had to use it to, put someone to rest. And this particular Legal Shield, I've used it. And then identity theft, I haven't had to use. But starting how we all started ATAP, we did not know what we were doing. So, or I didn't. You guys know what you're doing. I had no idea what I was doing. So putting people in our lives one step at a time to teach us how. Then when we got to that bridge, it was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, but let me call. So you get your identity theft stolen. And you're like, I don't know what to do. Oh, you don't got to worry about thinking and knowing what to do. You call this person, and this person will guide you to the next step and the next step and the next step. So that's half of why great businesses don't get started, because they just think, I don't have the full picture, so I can't get started. No, like one step at a time. You do one step at a time. If you're now, you have something in place. So if you're part of the half that got your identity stolen through that, then you don't even have to worry about knowing what to do. You just call that person, and then they'll take you from there.
And that's one of the things is too, and that's the emphasis in my life. It's always been my life. My family is my most important thing. And I know a couple of weeks ago on Down to Earth, you were talking about family and family. Well, the thing is that I found out that when I decided I was going to have the responsibility of family, I was going to build the biggest wall I could of protection around them. And you do that by insurance, by, health insurance, by life insurance. And, when I discovered Legal Shield for my own family and ID Shield for my own family, I built that protection around them, which covers not just myself, but it covers my underage 12-year-old son, who could have his identity stolen, and we won't find out about it until he's 18, because he's not going to get a credit card until he's 18. So these are protections that we build around our family. It's, when you look about it, you look at the money that you're going to expend it, and basically it is just, you worry a lot less. And I think Sherry was just, expressed that just tremendously, is you just realize that you're doing everything in the integrity of your heart, and you're trying to do everything right that you can. And then, just something comes along and you just need help. And that's exactly what I'm here for. That's what I'm going to do the rest of my days. I just want to help people. I know that's ATAP's mission. I'll throw a little pitch for you guys, because I know your heart of the leadership of ATAP and the leadership of the folks that you have working with you. It's incredible, and it's just out. You're just out there to help people. And that's really what we want to. That's what I want.
Well, guys, we're at the end of our show, so we'll keep talking.
Wow.
We'll keep talking in the chat here for a little bit. But thank you so much for being with us today, Dad. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing us valuable information. If you want to get a hold of him again, you can email him at dcoeley@gmail.com, or you can give him a call at 541-515-3943, or visit his website, daneley.com. Next week, we will have with us, actually, I'll be in Georgia with Sherry, and we'll have with us Mr. David Phillips, Mr. IE, and they'll be talking Community Connect. So thank you so much for joining us.
Oh,
Bye,
yeah.
All
guys.
right, see you later.